Hi all, today we will discuss about the clock. Okay, so we'll discuss about all these questions. We will cover one by one. Okay, so first one is what is clock? We'll see. So I already made the clock diagram. Okay, so clock looks like uh, in the same way we can define the clock like these all are the edges. Okay, these all are the edges and here these things we call it as a level. Okay, so this we call high level, um, active high, and the below one we call it as a low level. Okay, active low level, and this represent the positive edge of the clock. Positive edge. Okay, and this one represents to negative edge of clock. Okay, next things are the active high level and the low level. Both together we call it as time period. Okay, so from here we can calculate the frequency. We'll talk later. So our clock looks like same. Okay, so first question is okay. Now second one is why we use clock. So in our combinational circuit, there are some disadvantage. Okay, actually we generally deal with the glitches. Okay, so these are the issue present here in the combinational circuit. So why these glitches comes, we'll see. Suppose in the combinational circuit, suppose we have two different circuit, and from first circuit we are getting output X, and from the second combinational circuit we are getting output Y, and these both are going to the another combinational circuits as a input. Okay, and here we are getting Z output. Okay, so suppose for the first combinational circuit the delay is 1 nanosecond, and for the second combinational circuit the delay is 1.25 nanosecond. Okay, so suppose some output is coming from this first uh, combinational circuit. In every 1 nanosecond it will change its output if we give here in the input. Okay, and in the second combinational circuit if you see, uh, so after 1.25 nanosecond its output will change. Okay, so we'll see in the waveform. Suppose I am drawing the X. Initial value I considered 0, then it is going to 1, then after 1 nanosecond its value is getting changed, then it will continue for next 1 nanosecond, then again its value will be changed, it will continue for 1 nanosecond, its value will be changed, continue for 1 nanosecond, in the next clock cycle also its value is 0, suppose. Okay, then continue with 1 nanosecond, again it will change like that. Okay, so now uh, y value, and suppose this hardware is a AND gate. Okay, because I will talk about the AND gate logic here, so I considered, so y input, like initial value I am taking 1. Okay, for example it will better, we can understand. Initial value in y, suppose 1 is coming, so it will continue for 1.2 nanosecond. After that its value getting changed, and suppose after 1.2 nanosecond its value is 0, then it will continue uh, for 1.2 nanosecond, then again its value will change, then continue for 1.2 nanosecond, again its value will change, like that it happened. Okay, so we got it, right? We have the waveform for x and y. Okay, so now we'll see what value third hardware accepts. Okay, this will also acts as a combinational this is also a combinational circuit, but here I use the AND gate. So here in the third hardware we'll see the AND logic. Okay, in the third hardware suppose AND gate is present. Okay, so now if you talk about the z output, okay, so this is AND logic. So initially these two value are 0 0, then at this particular time we'll get 0 value. So if you do the AND operation of x and y, so 0 into 1, what will get? 0 only, right? So up to this point its value will be 0, z value will be 0. Then after that if you see here its value is 1, then at y also its value is 1. So it will go high, and up to this point this value will high, right? 1. And after that if you see this value is 1, but this is y is getting changed to 0, then immediately its value will be 0, right? Because at y we can see its value is 1, at sorry, at x we can see its value is 1, and in y its value is 0. So if you do the AND operation we'll get 0 value, right? Then it will continue till this point, then again its value is 0, then 0 will get 0 value, and again 0. Okay, so what we are expecting here and what hardware is giving to us. Okay, so like suppose we have one input, here we are giving 1 and 0 to y. Okay, so we have 1 present here, and here its value is 0, right? So what we are expecting, this is AND operation, so we are expecting 0 value, but as a output for some time we are getting 0, sorry, 1. So hardware behavior is showing different, our expectation is different, and what hardware giving, that is different, right? So for short duration of time it's giving us some different value. So this is nothing but glitches. This we call it as a glitches. Okay, so we can say like glitches are present in our circuit. So glitches generally happen in the combinational circuits. So to avoid these glitches, we use the clock concept game. Okay. So how clock works here, how clock remove the glitches, we'll discuss. So like uh, 1 minute. So here I can rub it, so we'll get more spaces. Okay. So how glitches we can avoid the glitches? Oh, so otherwise we can do one thing. We can remove the first diagram, these all things. So we can discuss here. Okay. Okay. So now suppose we have input. Suppose I am taking some different output. Okay. This is my clock. So I already made the clock diagram. Okay. And this is our output jet. Suppose I am taking this out, our output jets looks like something like that. Okay. So we can see we have some glitches present here, like that. If you see here we have some glitches. Okay. At this point also we have some glitches. So now we'll see in the flop if we use the clock, so how we can remove these glitches. So we'll talk about at every passage of the clock, every positive edge of the clock. Okay. So what exactly we will do here? This is flop output. Okay. So suppose I am taking zero value. This input, Z input, I am giving to flop. Okay. And here I am getting flop output. Okay. And this is my clock. So this clock is coming to this port of this flop, and this is the input to this flop, and we'll get the output here. Okay, I will draw, we'll see. So like I rub the below diagram so we can see the next things clearly. Okay, so initial value I supposed here 0. Then at this particular positive edge we have to take the value, and I considered this flop as a D flop. Okay, at this particular point if you see Z value we have 0, right? So we know about the D flip flop. If you guys don't know about the D flip flop waveform, how it works, so you can watch in my last video. Will I already uploaded that one? Okay. So like for D flip flop, we have true table. From that we can see like whatever the inputs we are giving, that will go to the output. Okay, same. So here if you see at this positive edge, we have 0 input present. So same input will go to the output. So here we'll get the 0 value. Okay, so this will continue till the next edge of the clock. So this is the next edge of the clock. So here if you see, we have again 0 input. So same input will come to the output. So again we'll get the 0 value. So this will continue till next positive edge of the clock. Then again if you see at this particular edge we have 0 input. So this will come to the output and it will continue till the next edge of the clock. Here we have one value, right? So here we'll get the one value and it will continue till the next clock edge. After after that, if you see, like here also its value is 0, sorry, 1, then it will continue till the next clock cycle. Then again, its value is 1, then it will continue. Okay, so now we can see, right, the Z, input and flop output. So in anywhere can you see anywhere any glitches are present? No, right? So here we can see, we can say we removed glitches. These all are glitches, right? So we removed the glitches present at the output side. So like whatever our expectations, so same expectation we are getting, right? So guys, one question always come at the mind, like what happen if suppose at this particular edge our glitches is coming and changing, right? Okay, but this is not our expectation, but hardware is generating these glitches. So for that also, we generally talk about the setup time and hold time of the clock. So these I will make video later for this thing. So we'll see setup and hold time. Okay, hold time it is. So generally we keep margin before the edge, means edge of the clock, and after the edge of the clock, and uh, then only we take the input, consider at particular point. Okay, so we can remove the glitches like that. Okay, so now next question is, so we already talk about what is clock, then why we use clock. Okay, to remove the glitches, something like that. And what mean by glitches we understand, right? Then where we use glitches, so generally in the flop and in the sequential circuit, generally we use these clock. Okay, so now the frequency of the clock, so how to calculate the frequency of clock, that is one formula we have, like the total time period. Okay, so this is our time period this represent. So active level and low level, sorry, high level and low level together we call it as a time period. Okay, so if you calculate the time period, so it will be like 1 divided by f. Okay, f represents to frequency, so if you calculate the frequency you will get 1 by t. So like that we can calculate the frequency. So in every hardware circuit, generally we give, if we talk about the frequency, right, suppose this is my circuit, and here we are giving the clock to this circuit. Okay, so like if it uh, if we want to change its frequency, so simply you change the time period, you will get the different frequency. Suppose this circuit is working at different frequency, so different frequency means what, this clock cycle only, right? This clock cycle we give to this circuit, and if you change the time period, will uh, can change the frequency also. So like that, these clocks definition we completed. Okay, thanks guys.